everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Pardon the Distraction, also known as Pardon the D. I'm DJBluePDX here with the Lost Drake, and we just realized that if you throw a balloon in the air and it's not filled with helium, it will come back down. So disorienting.
God damn it.
So disorienting.
Your intros are getting better and better each week.
But if it does have helium...
You end up sounding like this? It's super fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You gotta do that.
Yes.
All right, so we took last week off. We've been doing some soul searching. No, we've been having fun.
I mean, soul searching and also fun and also just craziness. Last week was partially my fault that we didn't have it. I mean, we had episodes go up last week, but they were from past weeks.
Yeah.
But it's because mainly my wife's birthday. We went to Disneyland, and then we got back, and it was just chaotic and busy, and I was a slacker. That was my fault, guys. So I apologize.
Damn it!
Yeah,
that's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, I know, but it's all right though. I mean, honestly, you guys have been absolutely amazing, and I always like to say it because I look at the analytics and I always look at like the back end and how many views and stuff that we're getting. But you know, every single day it's growing, and it's because of you guys. You guys have been crushing it. You guys have been coming back. You've been watching new videos. You've been sharing them with people. So for that, I say thank you. You guys have been kicking ass and supporting me and DJ and in our journey through this podcast, which, you know, shit, can you imagine if we would have started it when we actually wanted to start it?
Right.
We wanted to start it this time last year and we didn't, and we got delayed and shit was crazy, and now we're at a point where it's really grown. We're almost to 3,000 subs, guys.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you all for that.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Seriously, thank you guys so much.
So we're gonna have a slightly shorter show today. We were talking about stuff, and we got some events coming up. I will be at DreamHack next weekend, so anybody who's listening in the Dallas area, you can pop by and see what's going on in Dallas. DreamHack, of course, is one of the largest LANs in the world, and they do everything from there's all sorts of esports competitions. It is 72 hours of gaming. It's wild. There's musical like many different musical acts. I'll be DJing there. As well as being one of the main stage hosts and MCs. So lots of fun to be had.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
I was actually having this conversation with DJ. Like, I didn't really know full entail what DreamHack was. And I know a lot of people who are into the gaming scene. Some people do. Because the number one thing that I've noticed, too, about, like, conventions like PAX, if you're just getting into the gaming industry, you have no idea what PAX is. You have no idea what E3 is. I mean, some people knew what E3 was, but you know, because that's more of a global scale thing, and that's where you always got all of our new video game announcements for. But we actually have a year without E3 this year, and we didn't have it last year and the year before. So we're going on 3 years without E3, which really sucks. I'm actually really still discouraged about it. I was excited to go this year, and then they canceled it.
Yeah.
I think they canceled it a little prematurely, if I'm still honest about it. I think they were still worried about the effects of COVID, and obviously, you know, rightfully so. Well, but also,
and when you look at the attendance at things like PAX, like that significant decline.
Yeah, PAX has not been the best.
Yeah, and it's understandable. People want to stay safe and want to not risk. Plus, also with all of the, especially I would say with all the content creators and the struggle bus that we've all had to go through during the pandemic, everybody's finances is completely screwed. So being able to afford, these are not cheap trips that people take.
You know what's funny too is I actually had this conversation just recently too with a couple other content creators as well, and we were kind of talking about like the rise and fall, you know, of multiple platforms, right? I mean, there's so many platforms out there that have just completely and then there's other platforms that went woo, you know, and you know, there's I don't ever want to badmouth any kind of. I look at numbers, right? And realistically, when you look at the numbers and the logistics of things, like Mixer was on a rise, constantly on a rise. They closed because of a bunch of internal bullshit, and a lot of drama and BS, and a lot of it kind of maternalized into like this giant, just self-imploding bomb. And I have a feeling Phil Spencer and a bunch of other people looked at it and goes, well, we need to clean our hands of this before it gets out of control. And we got a bunch of lawsuits, and we end up being Activision.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's probably what most likely happened, if I'm honest about it. I mean, it still sucks for all of us, and we talk about it every podcast. I it's part of us, and it's our journey through content creation. But then you look at companies that came on the rise at that specific time. You got Trovo, you've got Glimish, and what was the other one? What was the other? It was Glimish, Trovo, and then
DLive.
Well, there's DLive. There was one other one too. I don't even remember.
Well, there was Facebook.
Well, yeah, Facebook, obviously. Well, yeah. We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah.
But just in general, like the transition phase, right? Like Mixer, everybody got offered a contract if you're a partner to go over to Facebook. A lot of people
It lasted for a hot second.
A lot of people took it for the quick money, and then they left and went back to Twitch or YouTube or wherever they went. Rarely anybody went to Trovo. Nobody really went to Glimish. Nobody, like, all these DLive fell off before I think even Mixer closed. I don't even hear anybody talking about DLive anymore. I don't even think it's a thing anymore. I know they brought on PewDiePie, and then I think it just went, it just blew up internally. But just in general, like, Trovo is still, they've been around for 2 years now. They had their anniversary like 2 or 3 days ago. But you don't really see anybody talking about them. I don't know anybody who's really on the platform that's anybody that has really any large scale significance. Do you know anybody? I don't really know anybody.
No.
I don't know anybody on Trovo. And then not only that, but like Glimish, like, I feel like a lot of people that were on Mixer are looking for a new home that was like Mixer, but you just can't recreate that. Microsoft was backing it. They had the money to back it. And you can tell the difference. Like, when you have somebody just trying to build it from the ground up, that the server costs and everything, all that gets really expensive. And it's not their fault. They're trying to make a better place for people to game and stream and not get screwed over. But something did big happen, DJ, and I haven't even talked to you about this yet. TikTok announced subs.
Nice.
And they have a beta program right now. And basically, if you know somebody who gets, you can apply for it through their website, through their TikTok creator platform. And there's an actual profile page that you can go into the link, you click it, you can sign up for it. But if you get accepted into it, you can actually invite people. This is the cool feature of it. If you think somebody is worthy of being able to receive subs instead of them going through a process, you can invite them. So say I get it right, DJ, I can invite you, you can start getting subs on TikTok.
Nice.
So you don't have you don't have to go through an affiliate process, you don't have to go nothing. It's basically, I could be like, dude, you're worthy, here you go.
I'll have to start using TikTok
more. Yeah, but here's the best part. The actual subs, from what I was reading, they're an 85-15 split. 85 for the content creator, 15 for TikTok.
That's incredible.
Yes. So that could be huge because you already have the discoverability. They're already getting into the OBS scene now because you can now hook up TikTok to OBS. So that's kind of a cool idea. And there's definitely people on TikTok. I mean, it's definitely one of the biggest rising social media platforms, period. But now they're trying to get into gaming, which makes sense because they're trying to, compete with everybody else, especially with Hover opening up. And I've said this time and time again, competition brings new features. That's why Twitch was evolving when Mixer was alive, because Mixer was putting the heat on Twitch and they were losing people. And so they had to basically go back and reinvent stuff and make things better. Now that they don't have any competition, they don't care. And that's at least from my perspective, because nobody knows how to get on the front page. Nobody, not even talent agencies. Nobody knows how to get on the front page. You can apply for it through a partner portal, but just in general, like, nobody ever gets approved for it unless you have 1,000+ views. And this is a strong thing. And what about affiliates? Affiliates, like, I think, and I've said this time and time again as well, I think the affiliate numbers are way too low. I think people need to earn it so that way it has more meaning. Because if any Joe Schmo, Dick, and Harry can fucking go on to Twitch and go, hey, I've got 50 people to follow me. 50 people is still a lot, don't get me wrong, but I think it should be like 250 to 500 people should follow you, so you at least have a baseline. So that way people don't get up the false hopes of, oh, I'm a full-time streamer now, and then they find out how hard it is, and then it puts them in a mental spin. I swear to God, content creation has caused more mental illness than any other company. Any straight up. I swear to God, I think it's caused
right up there in the high stress.
Dude, I mean, even an air traffic controller, they got to worry about planes crashing each other and people dying and shit. I get that, right? But like this, because you put so much work into it, so much effort into it, that you like sit back and you're like, oh shit, like, all right, well, now I have quit my job, which, by the way, anybody who is watching this, that if you are a small streamer, never quit your job until you are financially stable. And what I mean by financially stable, you have sponsors, you have revenue other than subs and bits. Subs and bits are not stable revenue. They jump up and down all the time. Believe me, I know better than anybody. Going from 5,800 down to 700, back up to 3,000, down to 1,000, and you expect that money and it's not there, it gets rough. It gets rough. So, at the end of the day, just remember that. That's my word of advice from Pardon the D this week, and for me and DJ. Like, literally, just make sure that you guys don't quit your jobs. Don't go out there and be like, I'm starting a podcast, I'm quitting my job. No, don't. It doesn't matter what platform you're on, whether you're on Twitch, Hover, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. TikTok. Make sure that if you have a job and you can pay your bills, do it. Keep it. It makes things so much easier. When you don't have to worry about money, your content is better too. Because then you're not stressed like, oh shit, fuck, what am I going to do? How am I going to pay my electric? How am I going to pay my water bill? I mean, we're not all Ninja. We don't have millions and millions of dollars. We're not Pokimane. We're not all these people. Some people are up to those calibers, but and I've had months where I'm living on cloud nine, and I know DJ has as well, where we're like, oh my God, this is the greatest month ever. And then the next month,
it's different.
It's you got 25 people on your channel. Like, what the fuck is going on? At least active people, and I'll rephrase that, active people, because lurkers are hardcore, and lurkers are amazing, and they support your channel, but they don't do anything to really evolve your brand. They other than just sheer numbers. That's really the only thing that is the major importance for that. Talking to people is big for me. A lot of people get mad at me for saying lurkers aren't important. They are important, but I say it differently, because I feel that lurkers, they'll have us open at work, they'll have us open at home, and
it's important. Like I've gotten some comments from people about the fact that oftentimes my DJ sets, there's no, like, we'll have 30, 40 people there, and there's
nobody talking.
Sometimes we'll get a whole slew of people emote dancing, because thanks to Doc Chaos and Ulaf, we have and Drunk, we got all these different elements in there. Like, I think it's called 7TV and BTTV. Yeah. We have a metric shit ton of emotes. So now you can emote dance. We've got an emote rain mode on the DJ setup. So all the emotes float around.
Yep.
And so they can emote dance. And sometimes there's dancing like crazy until it breaks, mix it up. Other times it's not.
Yeah.
And honestly, I find it funny, because if you're a DJ and everybody's just, and the chat's going wild, you know what that means? People are sitting there listening and typing. They're not actually dancing. Whereas most people who are listening to me are probably either moving around or have me on as a soundtrack in their house.
Yeah, while they're cleaning or doing something in their house. Yeah.
Yeah, which is just as complimentary to in my opinion.
Yeah.
And everybody's channel, everybody's channel is different.
Yeah, it's definitely for a musician or a DJ, totally understandable. People will turn it on, listen to music. I know a lot of content creators that are musicians, and I think that's also why musicians' numbers are always higher than everyone else's, is because they literally can turn on their chat, turn on their stream, listen to music, and just have it in the background and listen to it while they're doing their day-to-day stuff. Whereas then when you have somebody like me who's yelling and screaming and acting like an asshole, you don't want to listen to that while you're trying to relax. Like, let's be real.
Right. Also true. So, my Sunday sets are known to put people asleep.
Yeah. I don't let people sleep. I'm like, all the time, and I can't help it. And then I'm like, hey, no more sleep. Let's go. Let's go. That's pretty much me all day. And people lose sleep because of me. So you're welcome. but just in general, yeah, no, that there's definitely that fine line. So just yeah, everybody out there who's trying to become an up and coming content creator, please comment below. Let us know things that are working for you, things that aren't, that you need help with. If there's anything that we can help you out with, because believe me, between me and DJ, we have a lot of years of experience under our belt. He's the audio guy. He knows everything about audio and video for the most part. I am the guy that knows the marketing side of things, branding, social media, like getting that stuff. Like I'm still trying to get DJ to use his TikTok more. But
yeah,
you know, it's you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, we all have our pros and cons. All of us do. You know, every single human is like that. Nobody is perfect. But you know, if we can help people out through this podcast, which it seems we are, a lot of people are relating to some of these topics and we're not afraid
really
to.
well.
I mean, we're really not afraid to talk about stuff, you know, and that leads into our next part of the segment, which is the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, which I know almost everybody is watching right now that it's over.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of things that work and don't work, let's talk about Amber Heard's Dollar Tree shit show of a legal team. I have never seen so many things go so wrong for one specific team of lawyers in my entire life. And it would help if she wasn't completely bullshitting half the time. And Johnny Depp's lawyers, it's funny because every time she tries to lie about it, there's one, I laughed so hard at this. There's one spot where they were talking about the $7 million from the divorce that she was supposed to donate to charity. She goes, I pledged to donate. The question, and the attorney, Johnny Depp's attorney, was like, that's not my question. Did you donate the $7 million? I pledged to donate that $7 million. That's not what I asked.
Yeah.
Well, she goes, well, I use pledge and donate synonymously. Yeah, those are two different things.
Yeah.
Like just that plus these, like the doctor who was clearly cracked out of his mind.
Oh my God,
Amber Heard's
have
doctor.
You seen the people on TikTok that use that filter that made him with the googly eyes?
Oh God,
oh my God,
he's
tweaking
out. Like, congratulations, you're eating your cheeks. You're high. You're tweaking, bud.
Dude, that guy was on
your spare
another
parts
level. I don't even know what's going on with that guy.
Make sense. And then there was the front door guy who is on via video in his car, full on vapes, and starts driving during his fucking testimony. It's just look at the judge started laughing at this point. I'm glad the truth has finally come out because honestly, Johnny Depp's reputation got significantly hurt. He got tanked from so many different projects because of this.
Yeah.
He got replaced in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
He got taken out of Pirates of the Caribbean 6. And multiple different projects put him on hold because she decided to make some op-ed that was full of shit. Now, don't get me wrong.
Let's go.
Congratulations, technology totally works all the time without issues, said no motherfucker ever.
Boy.
All right, we had a small technical difficulty there. Where did we leave off? We're talking about
we're talking about Amber Heard and all the crazy people.
All right, so we were so I don't know where
I think you were talking about Johnny Depp losing roles because of
this. So it's really frustrating. Don't get me wrong. I think that we in the era of the Me Too movement, I think it needs to change from we need to be listening to those who are abused, but at the same time, we need to not be jumping as a society into complete and total, demonstration of potential abusers. Because again, this social media need to just jump on this and take somebody else's statement as fact when this is a great example of why you don't want to do that. Because we didn't have all the facts. Nobody did.
Yeah.
And these companies jumped on board and went with, the power of public opinion, on the altar of public opinion. His entire career was sacrificed, and now it comes to find out that she's kind of full of shit.
Yeah.
Granted, he's not exactly innocent, but the shit that she accused him of was complete and total garbage.
You know what? And I actually talked about this on stream the other day as well. I was talking about how, you know what? Do I think Johnny Depp is 100% not at fault? Like some of those videos, like he was definitely on drugs running around his house. There's no doubt about that. They've already admitted to that. That's not what the problem is here. The problem is that she's lying through her teeth trying to get more money, and also trying to say defamation of character on her, also as an alter counter to Johnny Depp losing everything because of her lies and bullshit. So we don't even know who they're going to favor. A lot of people are even like speculating that the jury's been paid off and all this other stuff, all these conspiracy theories. And there are definitely people that were up on stand that were paid by Amber Heard's team. You can tell. You can tell that they were paid extra to make sure to favor. You can tell.
What's so funny is because Johnny Depp's team turns around and just eviscerates them.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroys their credibility in a hot second. And it's all of it. And it's not even necessarily, it's brutal, but it's fucking funny. Yeah. It's so hilarious. It's so funny. The guy from TMZ was on there when she said, well, get your 50 minutes of fame. He turns around. He's like, first of all, you can say the same thing because by taking Amber Heard as a client, now suddenly you're famous, which is completely true.
Yep.
It's been absolutely entertaining. It's sad when we find entertainment in other people's destruction, but at the same time, like,
I mean, look at America's Funniest Videos. We've always
she's a hot mess.
Like literally, those videos are nothing but people getting destroyed or getting hurt or getting knocked in the balls or falling off swings. I mean, that's human nature. We like to watch people get hurt. Unfortunately,
is a great show.
Yeah, it is. It is me. But you know what though? It's funny watching people get hurt in a funny manner is okay, right? Like, oh, it was an accident. Like they got hit in the nuts. Oh, they fell off the swing. Oh man, they fucking face planted into some snow. That's funny, right? But I just want to emphasize
watching a vending machine fall over on somebody, however, is dangerous.
Yes, but I just want to say this too. This is the thing, right? Do I think Johnny grabbed her and said, "Get the fuck off me, you crazy bitch"? Yes, 100%. No doubt about it. Nobody's gonna stand there. I mean, look, I even brought this up. I've had ex relationships where I dated women where I would stand there and they were great when they were sober. But when they drank, they were a different person, and they were crazy. And I had one specific girl, and I won't say names, and hopefully she doesn't watch this podcast because that's the last thing I need. But because she's crazy. But anyway, besides the point, the funny thing about it is I would stand there and she would punch me in the face. She would punch me like straight up, like and I would just sit there and be like, "Is that all you got? Get the fuck away from me!" Like I would literally just stand there, and I'm like. I would antagonize her because I was just so sick and tired of her shit. And when Johnny Depp read that whole novel about, oh, you like he's like, oh, gutter slut, meat flat, fish factory, fish market. Like he was like going off on her. That sounded like me when I was in that relationship. That's what I could relate to because some people get in relationships where they're so fed up and they're so sick and tired of somebody's shit that they don't care about hurting feelings anymore. They don't care about that person anymore. They're just like, get the fuck away from me. I want nothing to do with you, crazy bitch. Get away from me. And you know what? Do I think that Johnny may have hit her? I don't know. But from everything in the evidence and everything that is shown and everything that like her messing up about the bruise kit and all those things that she just like totally like, you could tell she was lying. Like, my dog stepped on a bee. And like that whole fucking thing. Everything that she's fucking done.
She just, it's all over the place.
She doesn't even have tears. She's not even human.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because if you go to her Twitter page, it's her smiling with her Elon Musk baby. And... and sorry, I had to throw it out there. But you know what? But here's the thing, though. It's like you see stuff like that, and there's all these rumors that that Elon Musk gave her money, but like because he doesn't like her, like totally threw the try. There's all these like speculations going around. Yep. It's funny though, but if you dive into it and read up on it, it's comical at best. And her whole defense is just in shambles. Her main female or main woman attorney, man, she's like the crypt keeper.
Oh yeah,
like she can't even hold a solid sentence. What do you mean, Your Honor? Like, dude,
can we talk about the fact that multiple times, both the attorneys, at one point the male attorney objected to his own goddamn line of questioning.
Yes,
objected to himself. How? And then you've got the other one who can't seem to get a question out properly.
Yeah.
You have to, like, how are you a trial attorney and you can't even figure out how to phrase or frame a question properly?
Yeah.
Are you how long have you had your degree? How long have you passed? Have you had how long ago did you pass the bar? I don't understand it because it's not a two-sided issue. It is objection after objection after objection.
Hearsay. That's pretty much the 95% of that trial was hearsay from Johnny Depp's attorneys to the other side. Hearsay. Like, no structure for grounds, like way outside the scope. That's literally like all you heard. Like, none of us even knew what those fucking words meant before this trial. And now we're like, okay, now we know exactly what they mean because we watched the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. But like my funniest moment still is when Johnny Depp was on the stand and Amber Heard's freaking attorneys was going back and forth and questioning him. And he'd be, isn't that right? And Johnny Depp's like, are you going to let me read it? Isn't that right? He would start like attacking him and saying, isn't that right? And just saying the same thing.
Johnny stayed so fucking calm.
And Johnny Depp just takes off his glasses, sets it down. He goes, would you like to come up here and answer your own questions? Because you're not giving me a chance to. I was like, that was fucking great, dude.
Yeah.
And then the best part is after the trial's over, Johnny Depp is on stage with his band playing in the UK.
Yep.
But you know what though, you know what, like, do I, you know, like I'm on the fence about it, right? Because, you know, Johnny Depp is kind of a weird guy. He is kind of a weird guy. Amazing actor. Love every fucking one of his movies. I don't think there's a movie that he has been in that I don't like.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
But like, I mean, literally, I grew up on Edward Scissorhand. I grew up on freaking, you know, Backcountry. I mean, like, let's be real. I mean, like, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is about him being on drugs. Like, you know, you look at stuff like that, and you know, he is a method actor. He gets in the moment. He gets so wrapped up in it, you know.
Yep. And
you know, a lot of people are bad, you know, like getting on method actors now. I mean, but you know, the thing is that like, dude, I don't know. It's one of those things where you just sit back and you watch people and you can see the mannerisms. Like, if you've been around people, it's like people watching in an airport, right? You can see when people are happy and when they're sad. Amber Heard would get up on the stage and it just looked like
a performance. It didn't
even look real. Like, her cries were fake as shit. There was never any tears. Did you ever see one tear fall down her face in that entire trial?
No, but I definitely saw her do it on a Coke. She took a pill. She was doing. Dude, did you see the one where she literally dumped something out of her ring and she ate it? Oh yeah, like it. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but then she says she doesn't do drugs. She never does any of that. And then that one guy.
He's like, I've done drugs with her.
Yeah,
like,
well, that one guy that was like so pro helping out Amber, and like he was best friends with Johnny and Heard when they were married, and like all this stuff. Dude, that guy was a tweaker.
Oh yeah,
bro, he would look like he was tweaking when he was in that room.
Yep.
He was just like itchy and like doing this and shit. And it's like, all right, look,
yeah.
How are you gonna ask somebody in a suit? First off, they put him in a suit. He looks like he was sweating balls in that room.
Oh yeah.
And then when Johnny's attorney started lighting him up, dude, he started getting aggro. He started getting super mad. He started getting super pissed off, and he would get more fidgety. And it's like, dude, that's because he didn't know how to respond. Because everything else you could see, it looked like he was reading off a fucking prompter.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, come on, man, come on. I don't know. The whole thing is a mess. And I mean, obviously, it's, you know, the jury is figuring out. They have 6 weeks to figure out. 6 weeks. That's a long time. I don't think it's going to take that long. I think they're going to want to definitely go through because they got a lot of bullshit evidence to go through too. That like kind of came across, and then not only that, like the picture changes, and like here's the old picture, here's the new picture, here's what they messed up, here's what they didn't. You know, like There was a lot of evidence that, like, what they were up to, like 4,200 something pieces of evidence. That's a lot.
It was absurd, dude.
Yeah, just for a small like defamation lawsuit like that. Like, I mean, any regular person, none of this would have even made the day of light. And that's the funny thing is, there's so many people that go through this on the day to day, and they're probably watching it and like, what the fuck? Like, my shit was over in like 3 days. Like, this is ridiculous. But you know, rich people, when they have money, when money's involved, that's when everything gets blown out of proportion, especially when you got a huge A-lister celebrity like Johnny Depp, and you got Amber Turd. Sorry, I'm just gonna say it because literally, like, I can't stand her. I can't fucking stand her. I literally like watching her. Like, she reminds me of women that were in the club industry that would literally milk and dime, trying to find sugar daddies. Literally, like that she had the same mannerisms, like fake as hell. Like, and super aggressive and nasty to everyone around her, like resting bitch face to the max. Like, you could see it. You're just like, ugh. But anyway, besides the point. Yeah, we'll see where that goes, and I'm sure we'll talk about that when that actually gets announced. Yeah. And hopefully we have a really cool guest on the show so we can get different perspectives of it as well. But, you know, and I will say this, like, I don't ever condone domestic violence.
Yeah,
any kind of abuse on any kind of spouse or sibling or child or anything, like, that's just not okay. I mean, it's just not okay. So if you know, if you're in a situation where you feel like you are trapped or you feel like you can't talk about it, don't feel that way, because I'm going to tell you right now, every day that you stay in that situation, it's going to lead to a moment where you're either going to have a breaking point. I mean, no pun intended.
Literally.
Or it's going to lead to your death. And it's a sad, fucked up situation where you have to realize, and when you're in the situation, you're in love. You know, they would never really try to hurt me. I have had so many friends that I have carried out of abusive relationships like that. I had a friend when I was in late high school that literally this chick broke off his driving column and started beating him with it, so he wouldn't leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's traumatic.
Abusive relationships are something that people find themselves stuck in because there is this behavioral dynamic where you end up in a circle. And it's a cycle. It's a behavioral cycle. And the only way to solve that is to step out of the cycle. And if you're worried about suddenly feeling alone or being alone, it's not nearly as bad as being alone while you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's dysfunctional, abusive, or potentially dangerous. There are resources, of course, to reach out for, and to always know you can talk to somebody.
Yeah, and I'll put a couple of those links and helplines underneath on the comments for you guys to reach out, because if we can reach anybody and help anybody who's in a situation like that, and it doesn't even technically mean just physical abuse. Mental abuse is just as bad. If you're in a relationship where your significant other is just treating you like shit, and you know, you're stuck and you need to get out, and you're in a situation where you're living with somebody who is just abusive and you're afraid to kick them out because you don't know what's going to happen. The scenarios are a million, but just know that you're not the only one, because there's a million other people that are going through the exact same thing right now as we're speaking, you know? And it's not okay, you know? So just make sure that you guys, if you are going through something like that, that you try your damnedest to get out of it. Try to pull yourself out of it. And because the only person that can really realistically get you out of that situation is you. You have to make that first step. But it's kind of like, I guess the best way to break away from that is cold turkey. You can't go back.
It is.
I know so many people that have broken away from it, stayed with their mom for like a month, and then gone back, and it's even worse when they go back. You need to break it off. People do not change, unfortunately. That's human nature at its worst and at its best. You know, some people are bred different. They're bred to be hateful and vengeful and shitty, or they try to use excuses to hurt other people. And, you know, I don't want to touch on this too much, but I just got to a little bit. You know, the shootings that have been happening in the United States have been just astronomical. And, you know, like, you know, there are a lot of bad Republicans out there. I'm Republican, but there's a lot of bad ones out there that aren't for the people. They're for lining their pockets. And it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Before anybody freaks out,
yeah,
this is a good example of what people should be doing. He's a Republican. I'm a Democrat, and it is possible to share common goals and share a common understanding of what's the safest opportunity, how to have a conversation, to not jump immediately to, oh my God, and coexist while having a difference of opinion on certain matters, but finding other areas that we both have common ground on. And if the people in Washington took the time, God damn it, we're going over time. If the people in Washington took the time to actually try working together for a common goal instead of spending their entire existence pitting themselves against the other side, instead of representing the needs of the people, they're simply representing the needs of their party. And this is where the problems have begun, because we have got party politics instead of people politics. And that can only be solved by voting these people out of office. And there are Democrats who are just as guilty.
It's on both sides. It really is. It's on both sides. And I think of a lot of it too. And I've said this time and time again, being a white dude in America, right? I'm just going to say this. It's these entitled, old fucking white people that can't get out of the mindset that times are changing. They are so stuck in this old way of thinking. Times change. People evolve. People don't change, but you know, God damn it, we have to learn to adapt, and we have to make sure. You know, I remember when cell phones first started coming out, people were like, I'm not getting one of those things. They'll track you by the government. You're like, dude, like, you're 100% right. Or they'll give you a tumor
in your ear, or
You're 100% right. They can track you. But it's all the same people that were like, I'm not getting the anti-vax. I'm anti-vaxxer. I'm not getting the vaccine because they're going to track me with the chip they put into my bloodstream. Motherfucker, you have a phone in your hand. If they wanted to track you and kill you, they would have done it. Like, let's be real. Like, it's every government has the resources to do whatever the fuck they want, but it's the people that are in control if they can remember that. That's the big thing. And a lot of people have forgot that people are the power, not the government. And there are a lot of people that need to, we at the base level need to pick our politicians to make sure that we have a said and safe future for everyone going forward. No more Ted Cruz's. He is not a Republican. He is a lunatic. Sorry, I'm just saying it. Like, he's a fucking psychopath.
And that's the thing. It's the fact that we've got to get the right people in there. It's people who are willing to work with people across the aisle, people who are willing to take heed of the reality of what our world is in, or what state our world is in, and who are willing to represent us, the people. That's their job. Not represent partisan politics, not try and say that, you know, one religion's perspective on moral guidelines is the end-all be-all of where we all need to be. Sorry, not all of us agree with religion. Not all of us want that. It's a whole thing. We're going off on tangents again. Which is, what we normally do. We promised we wouldn't do that. It was going to be a lighter show, and then we kind of
drifted off. So I think we should finish it off with some jokes.
There we go.
So a rabbi, a priest. Oh no!
Jesus Christ, this is already going down. God damn.
But yeah, no, I literally just, it's one of those things where, like, honestly, there's a lot of bad shit going on in the world. A lot of people deflect and go back and forth. You remember how Ukraine was like the biggest topic in March? Now nobody's talking about it, unfortunately. I mean, they are, but they're not. People are attention whores. They are.
Yeah.
They are. They want to be the center of attention, no matter what topic it may be. And you know what? Hey, it's just human nature. It's the way we are. We want to be loved. We want to be important. But some people do it for the wrong reasons, and people get hurt when they make those dumb decisions. And so with that being said, I know this, we were kind of all over the place. We definitely, DJ's got to go off to a meeting. I've got some stuff I got to handle. I'm actually helping out one of my mods today set up his streaming PC. I think Poe's going to start streaming, which is kind of cool.
Nice. I'm going to try and figure out how to tell what kind of RAM my computer has so I can try and upgrade that.
I'm going to try to figure out how my PC keeps saving to the wrong place and I keep running out of memory. That's always fun. But yeah,
maybe it has Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so we don't have the middle of our podcast stop because, I'm out of memory, even though I have, 5 terabytes free. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, the Pardon the D, we started this originally to, and I say it again and again, we started this to kind of have a vent session each week. Sometimes it's deep and deep in discussion like it is right now about politics and religion and Amber Heard and all over the place. Like we'll talk about anything. If there's topics you guys want us to discuss, please put it down in the comment below. Without your guys' comments, without your feedback, we can't grow. And you guys are the ones that can really pick. I was actually thinking about possibly making like pick a topic of the week, and we'll go from there and see how far we go off the topic by the end of the podcast. But we definitely want to start bringing on smaller content creators, get their feedback. We definitely want to bring on some bigger people too, so we can get feedback from them. And I think as we grow and the more that we evolve, we're on projection right now. And I was just looking at this. If we stay at the rate we're going, we're going to be at 100,000 subs by the end of this year.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So I'm
That's
hoping
incredible.
that we can keep doing that and we can keep pushing forward and we can keep having fun doing this. Hopefully we get more sponsors so we can give back and do cool giveaways and do all kinds of stuff. We're already kind of working on some stuff on the back end on that. So please, guys, just tune in, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys click that little bell and make sure you follow us on all social media. We're Pardon the D, PARDONTHED.
Yes.
On all social media platforms except our website, which is Pardon the Distraction, and also our YouTube, because they wouldn't let us do Pardon the D because it implies penis.
Plus dick.
It implies penis.
Yes, the peen.
The peen. You can't have the peen on the U.
All right. Well, all right. Well, there we go.
Can we make that a shirt? Peen on the U. Wow, that sounds horrible.
Pardon
But
the D's
that
on
would
you.
probably sell, though. I'm not gonna lie. People probably like that. Pee on the U. Just have
Brings
like R. Kelly in the background. Oh God.
Wow, brings a whole new meaning to the term free willy. All right, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time live right here on Pardon the Distraction. Peace. We out.